Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Raiders video. In this video, I'll be talking about the Marcus Peters signing, as well as the Isaac Rochelle re-signing, but more importantly, the Marcus Peters signing, so let's get into it. So the Raiders signed him to a one-year deal worth up to $5 million in incentives. Of course, if he stays healthy, if he plays, to where they're expecting him to play, he'll make $5 million, but the base is probably lower. Well, it is lower. But Marcus Peters coming off a down year, me personally, I'm not surprised that it happened. Obviously, we knew it was inevitable. They're not bringing him in for a second visit, for a whole physical, for a whole workout to not sign him. They clearly were, as long as he passed the physical. I know we don't really have a veteran in the cornerback room, but to me, we didn't really, I guess, need one. I guess like talent, production-wise. Like, even though we don't have a veteran guy, doesn't mean we have to bring someone in to be like the guy who leads the guys. Already training camp. These guys already know Patrick Graham's scheme or have been learning it. So to me, and Marcus Peters has never played in it either. So, he came off a year playing in the zone heavy scheme with the Ravens with their deep coordinator, who came over there from Michigan. But Marcus Peters last year, he was a lot better in man coverage when they were running man coverage. I understand that, but is at this point he's a liability in zone somehow. And he of course had a big injury in 2021. But I understand he's a playmaker. He forces fumbles a lot. He recovers fumbles, interceptions, pass breakups. He puts up very good stats. I understand that, but he's kind of like a Trayvon Diggs, but older. To me, I never would really prefer that guy who makes the plays but gives them up. I prefer the guy who takes away the plays. That kind of is more shut down. So to me, Marcus Peters is not the guy who's going to come in and be the corner one, because I don't trust him as a corner one. Like, for example, Stephon Diggs in week 2. Okay, say Marcus Peters gets a pick, but what if he gives up 5 catches for 100 yards or something? I don't really trust him as a corner one. I'd rather have Nate Hobbs on the outside because I think Nate Hobbs at least has the ability to be more of a shutdown corner, which is what I would prefer. Hopefully he does bring us to interceptions. Now, of course, knowing the Raiders, he probably will come here after a career having a lot of interceptions. We'll come here and probably have 1 or none interceptions, to be honest, because we're just that bad defensively. Corey Littleton was a top 5 coverage linebacker in the league. We sign him, and he can't cover anything. So that's what happens with our defense and anyone that joins it. But hopefully he does actually have 3 or 4. That is the upside that we're banking on. If he doesn't, then there's not really much positive. If he makes plays, gets the offense more possessions, that'll help us out a lot. We had 6 interceptions last year. In his best years, he has 8 or 6. Came on strong as a rookie with the Chiefs doing that stuff. He's been productive no matter where he's been. A veteran at this point. But to me, Marcus Peters, a guy who is going to start on the outside, that's a lock. He's going to be a guy who makes plays, hopefully, obviously, but also might give them up. I don't see him going back to his old form. He's up there in age, still off ACL injury. I know it's been 2 years, or almost 2 years, but still doesn't change the fact that he had that, in his knee. That's serious career damage there. But to me, not a really bad signing. It can't really be a bad signing at this point in free agency. We have the money to do it. We do kind of need corner. I would have been okay with Duke Shelley starting, which we'll get into the rest of the corner room, obviously. But Peters, at least brings the energy. I'm excited to watch him. Even though I didn't want him on the team, now that we have him, I'm still excited to watch him because he's a new piece. He's a corner. We didn't bring in anyone that big name at corner. That we're okay, that guy's gonna start. So Marcus Peters is the guy who we know is gonna start, and obviously doesn't really need training camp or OTAs to he's a veteran. He knows what he's doing. It'll be exciting to see him hopefully catch some picks. Lights the people up, bringing energy alongside other guys in our corner room. But now talking about the rest of the corner room, to me, what's gonna happen with Duke Shelley? Is he gonna even make the team? I have no idea. Because Brandon Faison is pretty much a lock. He's almost at a lock in my opinion, because he got a lot of guaranteed money. He got a 2-year deal. He got over half his contract guaranteed, or about half his contract guaranteed. That's just not a guy you sign and then cut right away. So I think he will make the team. And then Ja'Cory Bennett is a lock. Obviously, Nate Hobbs is a lock. He'll start either on the slot or on the outside. Marcus Peters will start. Tyler Hall is a guy where if Nate Hobbs is starting in the slot, then you don't need Tyler Hall. But if Nate Hobbs is on the outside, then Tyler Hall is your best slot corner. So at that point, you would keep Tyler Hall. I know the regime loves him, obviously. Of course, big name to keep in mind to make the team. And then David Long Jr. to me was going to get cut anyway, even without Marcus Peters. So to me, it's not what's going to happen with David Long Jr. I think he's going to get cut anyway. I thought he was already going to get cut. I don't think he's very good. Mick Robertson, it's not looking very good for him. But at the same time, we've said that for the last 2 years, and he's made the team. So could make the team this year as well. I mean, he has the production. Like, he was the most productive guy in our entire corner room last year out of anyone, even Marcus Peters when he was with the Ravens. Mick Robertson had 2 interceptions and 9 pass breakups. Marcus Epps had 1 interception and 6 pass breakups. And of course, Meek was not as much, of a burnt toast as Marcus Peters was. So, I'm not saying he's making the team, but like, I'm not gonna write him off. That's what I did last year, and he made the team. So, name to keep in mind. And then Sam Webb is a name they really love. Like, to me, it's really tough now because they signed Marcus Peters and also brought in Troy Hill for a visit. Yet, there's some guys they really love. They signed Brandon Faison. It was their choice to bring him. Like, they let him leave when they first got here in free agency, their first free agency, but then they just brought him back. So they chose him. And then Tyler Hall they love. Sam Webb they absolutely love. Like, Sam Webb they'll keep over David Long if they have to, Meek Robertson if they have to, maybe even Duke Shelley if they have to. They really love Sam Webb. But now it's getting tough because, like, okay, is Sam Webb going to make it over Duke Shelley now? Is he going to make it over David Long Jr. now? Which in a way I'd be okay with if he makes it over David Long Jr., but he's, still, like, there's, he has a lot of room to grow, obviously. Good potential, produced last year as a UDFA, which is pretty impressive, but doesn't mean you can throw him out there and expect, good yet. He needs a couple years. But is he going to make a team? Well, now, like, are you going to cut other more experienced people for him? I'm not sure. And then also Duke Shelley, as I mentioned, I want him to make the team. I was okay with him starting, honestly. Like, if, before they signed Marcus Peters, I was thinking it would be Nate Hobbs and Duke Shelley on the outside with Tyler Hall in the slot. But now I'm curious as to what it would be. Duke Shelley has never played slot, even though he has the size. He's 180 or 185 now he is. He can play there, or at least, like, size-wise, you think he would play there, but in his whole career, he's played on the outside. So he's an outside guy, but at this point, he can't start over Marcus Peters or Nate Hobbs. He would start, though, if Nate Hobbs was moved to the inside. Now, to recap the corner room and who I expect to start and, where I expect people's roles to be, Marcus Peters will start on the outside. Nate Hobbs either starting on the other side, on the outside, or in the slot. If he starts on the outside, I expect Tyler Hall to be in the slot. If Nate Hobbs is in the slot, I expect Duke Shelley to be in this other outside spot of Marcus Peters. And then Brandon Faison will make the team, in my opinion, as a rotational guy on the outside. Ja'Cory Bennett will definitely make it as a rotational guy on the outside. Now, will they also want to keep Sam Webb or David Long Jr., or Meek? I'm not really sure, but they do love Sam Webb, so he would at least be on the practice squad. To me, I prefer Duke Shelley starting over Nate Hobbs, but, clearly that's not what's going to happen unless he somehow beats him out. But, Peters has a huge advantage being the veteran and the, guy who's produced a lot more than Shelley has in the league and has a lot more starting experience than Shelley has in the league. Also, they re-signed Isaac Rochelle. I'm surprised they did. Like, he played 2 games first last year, didn't do much. I'm not sure what made them want to do that. Maybe they don't like UDFA George Tarlis. Maybe they don't like, someone else. Maybe Jordan Willis has not been looking good. Kuntz, maybe. To me, he might not even make the team, which would be okay by me. But I believe now they have to cut 2 players because now they're, sending Marcus Epps and Isaac Rochelle. Now 2 players over the, 90-man limit. So 2 guys will probably be gone, or will be gone. Excited. Well, for the battles. Not like for the season, I'm not as optimistic as I usually am, but excited for the battles, especially in the corner room. Marcus Peters bringing a lot of energy. Will be exciting to see. But anyway, that was my reaction and thoughts on the Raiders signing Marcus Peters. I'm Marto, and thank you for watching.